Page 8, Sonatina. 4/4 time, no sharps or flats in the key signature. We're in the key of C major. Well, let's just check notes and rhythms here. Starting with the right hand, we're coming in on beat 4. Well, if you look at the end of the piece, there's 3 beats in that measure. We're okay. Now this piece is in sections too. If you'll notice at the end of measure 16, there's a double bar. Well, that's the end of a section. And then measure 17 starts the second section. So it's really in 2 different sections here, I guess you could say. I think it's more like 3 sections. It's like an ABA thing, although they didn't give it a double bar, because when you look at measure 27, at the end of it, the pickup there, you're coming back into the main theme you had at the beginning. So it's like, and that's typical of a sonatina or sonata type, is whatever you had at the beginning, you'll have at the end, although you might have it in a slightly different key sometimes. Just look out. But here at the beginning, 4 and I'm going to connect everything as best I can right now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Second finger. 1 and 2 and. Then reach up for the octave. It's a C. Thumb comes down. Here, third finger. Crossover. Third. B and G. Rest. Look. Do that some more. Let's go down to measure 17. Actually, it's the pickup to measure 17. The last 2 notes are in measure 16 is here. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now, I would suggest, let's talk about this fingering just a little bit. In measure 18, you have the 3 E's. You have 4, 3. The point is you're going to play the first E with 4th finger, and the third E has to be with 3rd finger. And which finger you use to play the second E doesn't matter. They've got the 3rd finger there first. That's fine. You could have done 4, 4, 3. That's all. You just need 3rd finger on the 3rd one. But then when you get to measure 20 on the C's, I don't know why they want you to use thumb on all of those, because you need thumb again for the here. So on the 3rd C there on measure 20, use 2nd finger. So you're in position to go on. So measure 20 is here. 2. And then measure 22, you got the 3 E's again, but now they're telling you a 3, so it's a 4, 3, 1. This way you can reach up for the C. Second, just keep your hand out here, otherwise you'd be up in here. Measure 24. Remember, the sharp sign is good for that rest of that measure, but only that measure. So all of these F's are sharped, but they have to give you a new sign in each measure, or it doesn't work. And then for measure 26, the G's, you can use the same finger or a different finger. I usually like a 3, 1, 3, 1. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Or you can use the same finger. I will typically use different fingerings, but not everybody does that. It's just a personal thing. And then I rest and you come down like you were at the beginning. Now, let's go down to measure 35. You're here, rest, come down, rest, then the in, thumb on each of these. Like so. Left hand, well, again, it's treble clef in the bottom staff, so it's a C chord, and then the thumb comes up, rest, the 5/7 chord, and then a 1 chord again, and that's fun. Then you have the CF and then the CE. Now they want 3rd finger. Well, they want you to do this. 3rd finger. My problem with that is we don't have to start it with 3rd finger. We're here. Just start it here. And thumb on the F. And then you can do 2, 1. It's just I don't like moving around anymore and I have to. So I'm here. Why do I want to come down here so I can move back up? So I just stay here and a 5, 4, 3, 1. And that way I could, otherwise I'm on the thumb up. That doesn't work. So a thumb here and then 2, G. That's what I recommend. And then going on, the same thing. Just go down to measure 15. There's here. And then you reach down, it is a G and a B. Which fingers you use? I use 5 and 4 typically. You use 5 and 3 because you're here. And then 2 and 4 here. Now we get bass clef. For measure 17, you come down here. F. And I'm using thumb on each of these. You get to measure 23, 20, it's 2 notes. Again, I'm just rocking a hand on all of these. Measure 24, and then it's an A, a C, and a D. Now, measure 26, look out. Here, I'm going to pivot on the thumb, just come across. Here. And then you go back to what you were doing at the beginning. Let's go down to measure 35. You're here, rest, and then here, and going on. Now that G is tied. So you just play the C, rest, and then an F. And again, the G is tied. You play the E. And then the G at the end. G, a D, and an F. Do a 3-1 there. Put the hands together slowly. My slowly, not yours. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I'm still connecting everything as best I can. And 2 and 3. Just get the idea, I hope. Go through and work the whole thing out with the hands together and see how you do. You may have to go back and work it one hand at a time again in spots and bits and pieces. And then go back and get out the hesitation. So if you're hesitating somewhere, then work on that little area, that measure or 2, whatever it is, and get rid of the hesitation. You can go real slow, it's fine. And once you have that, then we can put in the articulation. That's the slurs and the staccatos. In the left hand, these chords, unless they're staccato, connect them as best you can. In the right hand, you're good. That's short staccatos, but here it's both hands. Here, so it's 1 and 2 and. And then measure 5. So the staccatos. So put in these staccatos and the slurs and all that everywhere. Take a look over on page 9. On measure 26 and 27, there's staccatos. And there's a tenuto on that half note. Linger on that. Just hang on to it. Don't cut it the least bit short. And then you can go on. At the bottom. Measure 36, you're here. No staccatos here. Rest. Now at the end you get staccatos in the left hand. Here's. That's light wrist staccato here. Then we can add the dynamics, and that is for the right, is for the melody, the right hand. Whatever you think moderately loud is, it's just sort of loud. Keep the left hand in the background. At the end of measure 4, you go up to loud. And you're staying loud then until measure 8. At the end, you come back down to moderately loud like you were at the beginning. Until measure 12, back up to loud. And then measure 15, come down. come down to about a moderately loud or so. You don't have to come. Now you're soft going into measure 17. By the way, on measure 17 below the staff, you see the word legato? That means connected. They're telling you in the left hand, connect all the notes here. Because if they didn't say anything, there's nothing marked, it's up to you how you want to play it. You could disconnect them if you wanted to. But they're telling you legato, so connect it. Soft. And in measure 18, you're going to go up to about a moderately soft. And then back down to soft. And then measure 22 up again. Now you went up to moderately loud. Connect the left hand now. The retardando there in measure 26. And go up to loud at the same time. And that's the note we want to hear, not this. You slow down a little bit, then a pause, or not a pause, but a rest, and then an all tempo. Now, a couple of ways of interpreting all tempos, and you'll have to decide you have to take it on a case-by-case basis. One way with an all tempo like that is you just take off again. So I'm slowing down, and then take off. Another way is start it slow and quickly speed up. So it's here. So the 2/8 notes are still a little slow, but I'm starting to speed up. And then by the time I get to the 28, measure 28 on the 8th notes, I'm up to speed. So forth. Different ways of interpreting it. When you get to measure 35, you've come down to, or prior to that, you come down. Moderately loud, moderately soft, it's like an echo. And now you're starting measure 37 moderately soft, you're going to go up to loud. So it's moderately soft, now moderately loud, and loud. You gradually get louder. Here. That last note, go up to here. Here. No. Then we can think about the speed. Well, it's allegro is fast. How fast? I don't know. It has to be accurate and even and all that. So pick the hardest part in it, wherever that is for you. How fast can you play that accurately? That's how fast you can take it. You could take it a little slower than that if you need to. You could take it a little faster than that if you wanted to. It's up to you. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms and all. I'm not going to do any dynamics, but I'll do the staccatos and slurs and stuff. So I'll give us 3 counts because we come in on beat 4. 1 and ready and go and 1 and 2 and 3. And 2 and. rest. And two. One and two and rest and. One and two and. One and two and. Rest, 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 rest.